Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is already June 30th, the last day of June. So half a year has already passed, dear friends. Time flies so fast. It feels like we just celebrated Tet and now it's already June 30th. Tomorrow we will step into July. Just like when we celebrated Tet, the cherry blossom trees along the lakeside have bloomed and now they have all turned green. So there is only half a year left to keep trying, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you have accomplished over the past 6 months. Have you made any progress? Or yourself? Any joys or sorrows? As for me, there have been both joys and sorrows. But I think for the sorrows, you should just let time wash them away. Now, the half-year mark, we can consider it a clean slate, and we continue to grow in the months that follow. Today, please join me for a stroll around the lake. It is now 5 p.m. The weather in DaLat today is cloudy and there's no sun, my friends, but it is very cool and comfortable. It is currently 20 degrees Celsius. This morning, DaLat had a chill. The temperature dropped to about 17 degrees Celsius. It was chilly in a pleasant, cool kind of way. Today is only a Tuesday, but the lakefront is very crowded, my friends. It will be even more crowded on the weekends. With this beautiful weather in DaLat, tourists are starting to flock here in large numbers. I think this season is one of the peak times of the year. So if you intend to come to DaLat, you should come early. On my left is the Doc Q Cafe, which is very popular right now. It's an entire park. It's huge. And there are quite a lot of services there. I haven't tried it myself yet. Back when it was first built, there wasn't much. But now, there are cafes, go-karts, a park, and quite a lot of activities. There are many things for you to do, and I think they have musical shows every day. Today, I'm out during rush hour, so traffic is heavier than usual. It is quite congested, with traffic moving very slowly. Lots of people are jogging around the lake. Seeing everyone running, I really love it. I used to be a person very passionate about sports, especially soccer. So seeing people running makes me really happy. I can't run anymore because back in the day, I had a soccer injury. That affected my ligaments, and now I can no longer continue running and playing soccer. I was so passionate about it back then. I used to play at least 2 to 3 matches a week. Also, playing soccer and exercising made me feel very healthy. It really uplifted my spirit. And I never thought that I wouldn't be able to run anymore. I never imagined it would be like this. Now I cannot run because I have torn a part of my ligament. If I push myself, it could tear completely and I would need surgery. So, there are things that happen that you cannot foresee. You don't expect them, my friends. So I still remember my very last soccer match vividly. Even so, I gave it my all that day because I tried so hard that I got injured. But I believe that in life, whatever it may be, whether it's relationships, love, family, or work, just do your absolute best. Because often you never know which time is the last time. You never know when is the last time you can do something. But for me, I guess I've retired from it now. Even though it was a very sad time for me. It was sad in part, and my health has gone downhill quite a bit, friends. Now that I can't run, my stamina has dropped significantly. I have been training, but I feel it has gone down a lot, my friends. I am now reaching the Nguyen to Luke section. Across from me, I see that hill. Xuan Huong. In the afternoons, young people come to check in quite a lot. It is usually very crowded, especially on the weekends. Or on sunny days, people have to queue up to take photos. The lakefront, during the mornings or evenings, is very lively. But I find that the morning, walking around the lake is something very poetic, my friend. This season, it's often foggy. If you go early, you'll see the fog, and the scene of the sunrise appearing, running along the lake. In the cool, chilly weather, and sitting down to watch the sunrise. The feeling is just amazing, my friends. I have also run in the mornings before. It is both peaceful, poetic, and just wonderful, my friends. The DaLat that I love the most is the peaceful feeling like this. It is not hurried. It is not rushed. It is very gentle. It is very light and tender, my friends. The people are the same, just going back and forth. Or the elderly people sitting and sipping on a cup of coffee. Life here is just so slow, my friends. I don't know if you've ever lived or worked here, but back when I decided to return to DaLat, it was because when I studied here, slow and I felt the pace of life was. Although it's true that in terms of development, it cannot compare to big cities, career opportunities, or the rate of advancement, or the future. I don't think it compares to those big cities. DaLat is just calm like that. But it also has the conditions or foundations for growth. But I see the opportunities are not as many as in the big cities. And in DaLat now, I see that the standard of living has increased. The prices of goods have also followed the market, my friends. And some people say that prices in DaLat now depend on tourists, and the locals are the ones who suffer. Actually, that's not true, my friends. Since I live here, I actually know the right places, or I know the prices, so it's not entirely like that. Of course, trading for tourists or locals. That is also developing and good, my friends. You choose where you eat. You choose where you hang out. For me, I know which places are for locals and which are for tourists. Usually, I will choose the local ones. And this is the intersection near the church, my friends. This section has traffic jams. It's quite crowded this evening. It's likely that the congestion is leading up to the square. Big C supermarket, my friends. Traffic density is quite high. Rush hour. It's so crowded. They are lining up. Wow, so crowded. They are queuing up. The car is backing up, my friends. This place is a parking lot for cars, my friends. This place charges a fee. This parking lot has a fee, actually. As a local, I would think, why are they charging people? It costs money and everything. But in reality, if it's for tourists, if there is no place to park, it's difficult because, for example, as a local, I know where I can park for free. But many people coming from other provinces don't know where they are allowed to park. So, a small fee for parking is actually okay. The square is quite crowded today, my friends. Usually in the afternoons, children are flying kites. It is quite lively and fun. The weather in DaLat is very cool and comfortable, but today it is not sunny, my friends. If it were sunny, it would be quite beautiful. Okay, my friends, anyway. Okay, my friends. Okay, my friends, let's continue to enjoy the street view. Thank you, my friends.